Top three today is batters you have seen as far as the top three players of spin. Righto, we start with you, Vaughnie. Who is your third best player of spin you have seen?
Well, I reckon in my top three throughout the whole series, I reckon I've mentioned this chap on a few occasions. Javid Miandad.
Yeah.
I thought he was a wonderful player back in the 80s. And
good vision,
he
too,
had
you found.
great vision, just so quick on his feet. Very aggressive.
Used to play back a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, but he can also go down the ground. He was a wonderful player of spin, and he was a bit fiery as well. He's one of my favourites, Javid, so he's my number three.
Number three for me, Dougie Walters.
Dougie Walters?
Dougie Walters, yeah. I had to have an Australian. Have a look in the laconic lad from Dungog. Exceptional player of spin. And Kerry O'Keefe backed this up as well, because I respect what Skull says. And he said, yep, he was a fantastic player of spin. He could go back, loved that pull shot. He could go downtown as well. A really aggressive player. There's Big T. Greg filing a few off his bang, cuts him through backward point. So I've got Dougie Walters at number three.
Right.
Yeah, good shout.
Number two for you, Vaughnie.
I'm going to go VVS Laxman. Wonderful player. He destroyed Australia in Calcutta all those years ago. Warney around the wicket, fast on his feet. He could play the real pure innings. I didn't see many in the 90s really take down the great Shane Warne. But he could hit the ball out the rough, from over the wicket, round the wicket. He had the best wrists of his generation. A wonderful player.
Well, he played against the spin a lot. Out of the rough.
Round the wicket, out of the rough.
Yeah.
Number two player of spin you've seen,
Two,
Jude?
I've got Michael Clark, former Australian captain. A sensational player of spin. Very aggressive. He was the one guy that often went down the wicket and hit over the top. So you don't see that so often these days. You know, players tend to sit back, although Nitish Reddy did it a bit yesterday, but he used to use his feet beautifully, back and forward in the crease. A very, very confident player of spin. Brought up at the SCG, of course, so a lot of good players of spin in New South Wales.
Number one player of spin you have seen, Michael?
Brian Lara.
Brian Lara.
Incredible, yeah. He just had everything, Brian Lara. Saw him put Muralitharan to the sword on a few occasions. Just had that flow of the willow. Used his feet, could play the sweep shots. Didn't see him play too many reverse sweeps, but again, just picks up length so fast, and he could destroy any spinners from any of the teams that he played in all the different conditions. Magnificent.
So Miandad, Laxman and Lara, and for you, your number
I've got
one.
Lara number one as well.
Lara number one.
So I've copied Vaughnie. Unusually, we've agreed on this
What
one.
did Shane try and do to Brian because he was so good against spin?
What did Shane try and do? Well, I mean, he tried to get him out. Obviously, it's always handy to get someone out. But I think he used the angles a bit. He'd come around the wicket and try and bowl into the rough if there was footmarks there. Obviously, the wrong was a weapon. But Brian Lara picked him out of the hands. You know, obviously, Warney had the flipper as well, which I don't think he ever got Brian Lara out with that. So he tried everything.
So you've both gone Lara. Why didn't you put my man M.E. Waugh in?
Well,
He was a magnificent player of spin.
He was. He was very close, but then I looked at the stats and I saw his record against Phil Tufnell. And Tuffers had
Your
him
mate, Tuffers.
Well, he had you out more than any other player.
So you're telling me
seven
he got
times he had
Mark
for you.
Waugh out more than any other player
You got
in
out
his career?
7 times to Phil Tufnell on the back of it. Have had 20 pints the night before and 20 darts before he bowled
but
to
I
you.
got a lot of runs against him as well. Yeah, well, that's a good point.
It's a little bit of left arm
That's a good point, but it helped Tuffers relax to all
There you
those
go.
20
There
points.
you go.
But have a look at him. Have a look at the... That's a shocking... You can't count that. That's me.
Says it in the scorebook, Jude.
That is me getting myself out. That's not
No
Phil
wonder
Tuffers.
you don't like the ramp.
Yeah, I hate the ramp. That was unlucky. How did I drag that back on?
He
Yeah, a bit
must
unlucky.
have.
But have a look at this.
Is that Mike Gain who's
That's
caught that?
off his big fat foot into his hands.
That's off his foot into his hand.
Watch
No,
it.
it
It's
can't
into
be.
his foot. Look, see? Actually, it bounced as well. That bounced on the half volley.
That's a
But
great
you got him at Lords. This is at Lords. You're on
no, go on, get a
It is a
century.
fine 100 coming up against Tufnell on the way to 100.
You don't have to be dead to be stiff, fair dinkum. Those
Through the
sweet
legs.
dismissals.
That's
Are they
right.
unlucky or what?
Of the 7, how many were genuinely good balls?
I reckon one.
Right.
That's why you
And
went in the
that's,
top
I don't
three.
even, I'm doubting that as well.
He's got to play with a full
One.
face.